Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video and the thumbnail, we're going over one of those videos that we don't want to do, but we have to do because we live in a clown world. And what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about Oregon Ballot Initiative 114. So from my research, this has actually been out there for a while now, in fact, years, and has been on ballots, and finally now has passed due to the voters in Oregon. And we'll just throw up a map here and let you guys see who actually voted for this. You can see that it's predominantly folks in the city and the folks in rural Oregon. We're not really big fans of this. Basically, it's an anti-gun bill in just about every way. Now, one of the things that folks on our side have going for us is that this was written before the Bruin decision. So the Supreme Court has ruled that basically everything in this bill is unconstitutional already, but it's going to have to go through the court process. And the bill itself, or the ballot proposal, is so vague that I knew about this 2 days ago, but I've been waiting to see if anything would happen in the Oregon legislature where they would actually kind of define some of the things in this bill. And they haven't. So I will leave a link to the ballot proposal down below in the video description. You guys can read it. It's only 6 pages. It's not that long. I read the whole thing, and I don't know what some of the things in here meant or mean, but the folks at Sportsman's Warehouse, which I'm assuming they have attorneys on staff, did put out a statement for people who live in Oregon. And I'm just going to go off their statement because, again, they have staff attorneys, and I certainly am not an attorney. So the things that they said, just in bullet points, is that as of December 7th, 2022, Wednesday, will be the last day to purchase full-capacity firearm magazines, and then in parentheses, magazines with capacities greater than 10 rounds. So one of the things that this ballot proposal did was eliminate the sale or transfer of magazines of greater than 10 rounds. So the way I read it, and again, it's super vague, the way I read it is that if you get these magazines before this date goes into effect, and according to different sources, what I'm seeing in terms of dates is December 8th or 7th here in this case, or December 25th. Those are the 2 dates I'm seeing as to when this goes into effect. Again, it's very vague. So from what I'm seeing, it's one of those 2 dates. So if you live in Oregon and you want to get a bunch of mags, I'd get them now. But anyway, regardless, so that is the last day that Sportsman's Warehouse, as per their attorney's guidance, will be selling them in that state. Again, as I stated, if you get them before that, according to what I've read, you will be grandfathered in. Now, gun dealerships who are gun stores that have these will be allowed to keep them in inventory for 180 days after that goes into effect, but they're supposed to sell them to other states. Obviously, again, that's completely unconstitutional, has been ruled so multiple times, and most recently in the Supreme Court's Bruin decision. So the next bullet point goes into December 7th, again, a date. Wednesday will be the last day to purchase a firearm equipped with a full capacity magazine. Firearms equipped and sold with magazines holding more than 10 rounds. Obviously, we kind of just touched on that. So what they're saying is, you know, if you go to buy, let's say, a Glock 17, they could sell it to you, but they won't be able to include the standard magazines if they do so. Again, December 7th will be the last day to purchase any firearm without a valid Oregon firearm purchase permit. Now, this is key. So again, going back to what I said in the beginning of the vagueness of this, you know, ballot measure, I think it's called, I don't think it's called a bill, but so the vagueness of it. So it says that you have to have this purchase permit, which is going to be issued by a sheriff's department in your local county. There's not a single sheriff's department in the county right now that has an application or a process established to get a purchase permit. It doesn't exist. So all the sheriffs, depending on where they are, rather regardless of where they are saying that we can't do this. We don't have the infrastructure to do this. It will cost us, most counties are saying, between $300,000 and $400,000 a year to do this, and they don't have the funds for it. And so several FFLs, large ones, have said that basically if the process isn't in place, either for the permitting, either by the 7th or 8th or the 25th of December, they will cease selling firearms. And the reason they're giving for that, and I'm not excusing or, you know, saying it's good or bad, but the reason they're giving for that is, again, this thing is very vague. So let's say they sold firearms without permits through January because there is literally no process in the state for it. It doesn't exist. So what they're saying is, if they sold it thinking they were following the law in January because there's no permits that existed yet, then, you know, the ATF comes in, or, you know, the FBI comes in, kicks their door in and arrests them all in, you know, April or May, whenever the process kicks in, saying they were illegally selling firearms. They don't want to risk their livelihood and, of course, their freedom to do so. So that puts everybody in Oregon in sort of a weird quandary. So go to the next bullet point here. It says, if a firearm background check is delayed, goes into the OSP queue, which happens. A lot of people know about this very often. And the approval comes on or after December 8th, the customer will need a valid Oregon purchase permit to take possession of the firearm. So that's saying that anybody who goes in before then and gets delayed for the background check, which again happens all the time. Like if you have a common name like John Smith or, you know, John Kennedy, there's a high chance that your background check will be delayed. And what they're saying here is that if it goes past that date, you'll be denied your purchase even though you tried to purchase it on time. Additionally, it says here on and after December 8th, all firearm buyers must have their purchase permit, like I was saying. At this time, there are no known or law enforcement agencies issuing Oregon firearms purchase permit, which I just said. The new Oregon firearms purchase permit may require live fire training. So it says in there may require. So I read, again, the Ballot Initiative. The Ballot Initiative absolutely says that in order to get a purchase permit, you need firearms training. It doesn't say what the firearms training is, but it says firearms training as approved by the sheriff's office for whatever county you're in. Again, none of that exists. So if you're in Oregon right now, starting either on December 8th or December 25th, depending on who you ask, there's going to be a huge limbo for firearms purchasing as well as magazines, standard capacity magazines. So like I said, the good news is, and the bad news I suppose, is that this ballot initiative is super vague. Starting tomorrow, as of when I'm recording this, that will be Monday, you guys will be free to contact your state reps and have them, I suppose, amend this or word it or rescind it, whatever the case may be, or stay it because it's so vague. So that way, hopefully your rights will be preserved through the court cases that will inevitably come up because of this. Again, obviously, like I said, it's unconstitutional. It's not just my opinion, it's the law in this country that this is unconstitutional. But for whatever reasons, the people in Oregon decided to vote for this. As of right now, there's several sheriffs that are saying they will not enforce this. That said, that's not enough because, as we know, with state bans, I lived in one in Massachusetts during one of these assault weapons bans. The state police and the federal agents will be glad to come in and arrest people in those counties where the sheriffs won't enforce it, and the sheriffs will do nothing. So unless the sheriffs are willing to use force to repel the state agents who are willing to strip you of your rights under this unconstitutional law, that's simply not enough. But I suppose that's my opinion, and that's a video for another day. Anyway, that's really all I have for you guys. Just want to let everybody know in Oregon, because Oregon has a large population. A lot of my viewers live in Oregon, but not just folks in Oregon. This is creep. So this is what happened in California 10 years ago, happening in a border state now. It's coming to Nevada, it's coming to the Carolinas, it's coming to everywhere, because that is what happens. These things don't happen in isolation. They grow, and then unfortunately people suffer in the short term, because this will, if I had to predict what's going to happen, this will probably get stayed at first, meaning that it will get extended because they'll realize that literally there's no process to purchase a firearm. And even the most left people know that that will get thrown out immediately. So they'll probably push it forward to the right. And then, it'll just be challenged in court for years and years and years up to the Ninth Circuit. We know how that'll go. And who knows how long this will go on? Who knows how long the people of Oregon will be deprived of their natural right to defend themselves and their families as they see fit. We will find out. However, this is a warning to everybody out there in Oregon. If you guys are even remotely concerned about this, if you have guns that you think you're going to purchase in the future that take standard capacity magazines, you might want to get the magazines now. I would highly recommend it. They're probably not going to go down in price. It's probably a good investment. So with that, we'll close the video out. If you guys like this type of video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because this kind of crap happens all the time. If you are subscribed, just double check. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Additionally, if you like this type of video and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you can sign up for my email at the website here on your screen. This email goes out once a month, and it has all of the videos since the previous month's email. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content through an algorithm. Additionally, if magazines, ammo, guns, optics, anything like that go on sale, we will put them in my daily deals email. They're also on my social media outlets, but they will be in my daily deals email, and you can sign up for that at the website here on your screen. This email goes out goes out every day, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find along the internet on that day. If it's in the internet, it's the cheap. If it's in the email, I can't talk today. If it's in the email, it's the cheapest I know of on the internet that day. So hopefully it saves you guys some time, because I've already done the price comparison, and saves you some money as well. And with that, we'll close the video out. Share this video everywhere, folks. I know even if you don't live in Oregon, you know people who live in Oregon. Share it wide. Let everyone know what's going on. This is insane. Again, a link to the actual legislation is down below. It's 6 pages. You can read it. It's absurd. That is all. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.